told the jail she had tried previously to take her own life. Police say Bland committed suicide by hanging herself 3 days after her arrest.
The family says they don't believe that.
It's a fucking lie.
Says preliminary autopsy results show Bland had marijuana in her system and cutting scars on her arm. Brian Young has more now, including some discrepancies on the jail's intake form.
Every time an inmate is booked in here to the jail, they fill out a form. And, of course, the inmates have to tell them about their health. And on page number 2, it says in 2014 that she lost a baby and she tried to commit suicide. It says it right here that she tried to use pills to commit suicide. That is on page 2 of the intake form that Sandra Bland had when she walked in here to the jail. Now, on page 4, it also states that Sandra Bland states to the people here at the jail that she had epilepsy. But on that same page, and you can see it, it says, have you ever attempted suicide? And that box is marked no. So on page 4 it says no. On page 2 it says yes.
Bland's family is adamant that she did not kill herself, and their attorney says Bland was excited about starting a new job.
We take issue with the notion that she was suffering from depression. She was never clinically diagnosed, as this family understands. Everybody has hills and valleys, and the bottom line is that there was no medication that we are aware of that she was taking to address any sort of epilepsy or depression. What raises questions is why it is that a 28-year-old woman who had received 2 job offers would take her own life. What it does is it raises questions. It raises questions why a 28-year-old woman would call her mother in excitement about those 2 jobs and then take her life. Sandy was a social activist. Social activists don't take their own life, particularly in jail. It just doesn't make sense.
That's right.
And there are many questions surrounding the police dash cam video of Bland's arrest.
And many are asking, how does someone pulled over for failing to use a turn signal end up in jail for 3 days? Miguel Marquez breaks down exactly what happened.
The very first interaction between Sandra Bland and Texas Trooper Brian Encinitas, normal enough.
How long you been in Texas?
Pulling her over for a lane change violation. After checking her license and registration, he returns to the driver's side. About 5 minutes later, the tone changed. You okay?
I'm waiting on you. This is your job. I'm waiting on you. What do you want?
Oh, you seem very irritated. Seconds later, Trooper Encinitas, apparently annoyed by her answer, ups the ante.
You mind putting out your cigarette, please? Don't mind. I'm in my car. Why not put out my cigarette? Well, you can step on out now. It's not against the law to smoke in your own car.
The situation rapidly escalates. 11 times the trooper demands she exit the vehicle, finally saying she's under arrest.
Don't touch me. I'm not under arrest. You don't have the right to do.
You are under arrest. They argue and struggle, finally pulling his taser, issuing this threat.
Get out of the car. And then I will light you up. Get out. Wow. Now.
In the officer's affidavit written after the arrest, neither the cigarette nor the taser mentioned she is charged with assault, but Encinitas told her she was under arrest before the alleged assault ever happened.
I don't see anything here for being arrested for the motor vehicle violation. I don't see resisting arrest here on this. It's just all one complaint for assault of a public servant. We had a problem with that.
The initial dashcam video released by Texas Department of Public Safety had at least 6 video but not audio anomalies in 2 areas of the video. This car disappearing several times. The tow truck operator jumping from outside to inside. Texas authorities saying it was an error in upload.
Bullshit.
Nationalism, it's everything. And
Bullshit. That's called doctoring the tape.
Something that apparently had flaws.
A new version of the video released by Texas DPS is shorter than the original by 3 minutes, possibly because of the digital loops in the original video. The new video contains no new information. The altercation between Bland and Encinitas off camera is disturbing.
They slam me, knock my head in the ground. I got epilepsy, you motherfucker.
Good. You're going to jail
for
resisting arrest. Later, with the dash cam still running, Encinitas can be heard describing his side of the arrest to a superior.
I only took enough
motherfucking lie right there.
New security concerns about Barack Obama's trip to Kenya this week.
That's a motherfucking lie right there. Gee whiz, I wonder how many times they've had it to where they got the video, but the audio don't match up. The audio is continuous, but then the video, they claim the loop. You mean to tell me, so in other words, if there was a confrontation that went on for longer than 3 minutes, there'd just be a loop of it or something like that? Gee whiz. The jail cell that she was put in looks to me like they purposely put a trash can in there with a trash can liner in there so they could use that as an excuse to say that she took her own life. Gee whiz. And then what about the cop lying and saying that he de-escalated everything, which was a lie right there? What about the facts are that the cop had no right whatsoever to tell her to put out the cigarette in her own car? What about the facts are how many other people has the cop pulled over for an improper change lane? Or could it be the facts are that it was an out-of-state tag, and that it is common for out-of-state tags to be pulled over? Why? Who is going to contest a ticket if they have to go 2 or 3 states away? They know automatically that the people are more likely just to send in a payment because it would cost them more money to contest that ticket. And then what if they decided that they wanted to continue the case over and over and over? Then what would happen if the person actually wanted and did contest a ticket? It might end up costing them $500. Let's not talk about the gas. Let's not talk about maybe the hotel and the motel that they'd have to rent and everything. Let's not talk about the facts are that they hoped that they wouldn't show up so that they could put a warrant out on their arrest. Then when they put a warrant out on their arrest, gee, they might be able to put them on the extradition train, where they can go all over the United States, where they might be 10 days before they even get to the jail. Now, let's talk about, I wonder how many other times this cop has done this. We don't hear nothing about that. All we hear is about this one thing. Let's talk about the Sandra Bland family. Chances are they thought, oh, we just got an out-of-stater, and we'll do as we damn well please with her. But they didn't realize that the state, the family, was a family who cared for her, and that maybe she was an activist, and so was her family. So what that tells me is they were figuring, well, we just got a out-of-town yokel. Nobody's going to come for her or anything like that. Boy, did they get that motherfucking wrong. Because now what's going on is a bunch of shit is being stirred up. They had connections to get the FBI involved with it. They had connections to get the Texas, I think it's the troopers involved with it. You can best bet if this has been in the average person, they've probably been doing this for years. And the thing is you'll notice that the jail cell is not no ordinary jail cell. I've never seen a jail cell where they got all kinds of stuff on the inside of it. I've never seen a jail cell where they have it to where there's a place where somebody can hang something on it. And the hooks that they do have in jail, they're quick release hooks. They're designed to give out under very, very little bit of weight. So, the truth of the matter is, They thought that they were just dealing with a sucker that would, chances are, pay off the money, and then that's probably how they made a lot of their money, out-of-staters. You can best bet people that were in their own area, they're not going to pull them people over. Why? Because 9 times out of 10, they're going to come to court. But if somebody's come a long ways or something like that, they know they are more likely to pay that ticket through the mail or something like that, or have it wired or something like that. So the truth of the matter is cops, they will use escalation techniques, rude techniques, hollering and stuff like that, because they know human nature is, if you're kind to somebody, they're more likely to be kind to you. If you're nasty to somebody, they're more likely to be nasty to you. So Sandra Bland was actually entrapped. That's called cop entrapment in the state of Florida, 777-201 the Florida statutes. I have dealt many times with cops being rude to me, and that what I have done is kept my composure and asked them questions that the average person wouldn't know to ask. The facts are, this could have been very easily something to where he could have just given her a ticket, if that's what it was required to do, and then she could have been on her way, and then she would have paid that ticket. But the truth of the matter is, this ain't the first time this cop's done this. He's probably done it thousands of times. But the thing is maybe he forgot that the video camera was on. And then the thing of claiming, oh, there's a defect in the tape, bull motherfucking shit. That's called half-ass doctoring of the tape to try to cover it up. So now, will that cop go to prison for perjury? I wonder what's going to happen to him. I'll bet you they'll figure out to make sure next time that they don't have himself exposed like this, because there's probably been very few families that have taken up like Sandra Bland's family has done.